Hello guys, welcome to the video for today. This one we're going to talk a little bit about what happened at the USA Grand Prix that happened a few hours ago, just over 12 hours from the time we recording this. So Lewis Hamilton, not bad start. I mean, it wasn't great. Obviously Vettel got off to a better one. Regained the lead further on through the race, which I thought was a bit poor. I thought Sebastian Vettel could have defended the inside a whole lot better. Like, we saw so many people defend the inside line a lot compared to how he did against Hamilton, which I thought was weird. But I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, Vettel getting a podium after coming back through the field. And I guess the real drama kind of happened behind Vettel with Kimi and Verstappen. Now, there's two ways you can look at this. You can look at it from a perspective of someone. You can look at it through Kimi's perspective or Verstappen's perspective. So Kimi's perspective, you're battling side by side, and Verstappen cuts on the entrance to a corner to get past him and go on and take the podium. You can look at it from Verstappen's perspective, where Kimi squeezed him and he went wide to gain an advantage. Not intentionally gain an advantage, but cut the track to gain the place. So obviously this kind of situation happened with Bottas and Verstappen earlier on through the race. Now, in my opinion, those are two completely different incidents. Because Bottas went wide on the exit of a corner to maintain his position, and Verstappen went wide on the entrance to a corner to stay side by side with Kimi. Now, I can understand why Verstappen's pissed off, because it's the second time in a year that he's gone to the cool-down room and been told, "Oh, sorry, you've been given a penalty after the race. You have to leave." Now, the thing with me is, I didn't feel bad to a degree, because he did cut the corner. Like, there's no way of looking around it. He did go all four wheels off the track, gain an advantage going into a corner, not after it, because the car can't handle it. Like, choose to actually do it himself. So the thing with that is, because obviously I'm gonna give a few examples while I'm driving here, because I was basically going through what I was going to say through the video, and I was like, we might as well just give some examples. It'll be a whole lot easier as Paul Stoffel Van Dorn actually cars off the race. So, for example, if we went wide here, it'd be fine. But going across like this, that's fine, because you're still primarily on the track. You had all four wheels on the track going into a corner and exiting the corner. There's nothing untoward there. Now, for example, if you go like that and then like this, I'm going to get a warning, because I went all four wheels off of the track going into a corner. Now, with Bottas, they'd gone side by side on the exit of the corner, so therefore, it didn't really... It's different to going into a corner. Now, I'm not saying, oh, Verstappen's clearly in the wrong, blah, blah, blah. I rate Verstappen. I really like Max. And it's just unlucky that it happened to him. It would have happened to anyone else. I'm not going to say it's not. But at the same time, it's unfair on Max's behalf as well. So, by going all four wheels off on the entrance to a corner, because they were going side by side through a right-hander, the apex was in front of him, and obviously because Kimi squeezed him, he didn't really have anywhere to go, granted. But at the same time, there is a brake pedal. Like, I think there's an instance either in this already, or at the end of the race. Like, look here, entrance to a corner, all four wheels off. If it was on the exit, like here, if I went wide, I would have been let off. And I'll give you an example of going off in a minute and it being fine. But those are the two examples I wanted to show you, like all four wheels off on the entrance, because that's all it comes down to, in my opinion. Is they were going side by side through an apex like this, to a bigger degree, of course. That it's pretty black and white, in my opinion. Like, what else are you supposed to do? But we're going to look here, and you can see we're going to go really wide here, that's effectively what Bottas did, and obviously like, I got no warning there. Now obviously you could say, oh, this is the Codemasters game, it's the penalties aren't nothing to do with like in real life. You know, fair point, you know, they're not exactly the most consistent, but the foundation are very similar. Like going into a corner, if you cut it, you're going to get in trouble. On an exit, not so much, not unless it's a corner where you're going to gain so much, because after turn 12 it's basically a left embankment where if you go off on the exit you have to go off and then come back round. Well, obviously if you stay on the track, you just go round the left and you gain a lot more time by staying on the track. Sure, Bottas kept the position for one corner. That's the only reason they did nothing about it, is because he lost the position straight away. It's very similar to, if you think, last year in Mexico when Max got the penalty for going off but Hamilton didn't, because there was a safety car which neutralised that immediately, so he didn't gain an advantage. Where obviously Bottas for the one corner gained an advantage and then Max got past him anyway. There is some kind of consistency because these are the same stewards that were panelling the Mexican Grand Prix. So I can see a consistency between that and the USA Grand Prix. Are they unfair? Yes, it was unfair that Verstappen was allowed to go all the way to the podium and then stand there, see Kimi, and then be told. That was not nice. Like I didn't take any enjoyment in watching that. I didn't like it at all. I was hoping they was going to do it off camera so we didn't see, but of course not. So that is the one thing that really needed to be handled better in terms of how they're going to manage that, because that was really, really unfair. I really didn't like that. I think anyone who watched that felt really bad for Verstappen, because he was fuming, and rightfully so. I think anyone in that position would be absolutely splitting feathers, to be honest with you. But how I see it is, it's clear cut, it's black and white, and like here, we could have easily cut that corner there. So really, it just comes down to like who it would have been. I reckon if it was like Magnussen or someone, no one would really care. But because of how popular Verstappen is, and obviously, you know, you got all the Dutch fans, you know, they're such a big part of the sport at this point, because he's so popular that he just, it's just so disappointing and upsetting to see a driver like that. Again, similar to that, like, it's a tough one. It was tough to watch, definitely, to be able to see like how upset he was. And I just absolutely bottled the last lap. I just couldn't keep it on the track at all. Kimi almost got us at the end, which was really upsetting. But it was just upsetting to see Verstappen that angry and distraught in the not the conferences, but the pig pen afterwards. It's just not nice to see. Bless him. He really did deserve better than what he got given. But you can't really do much now. It's near the end of the season. There's only 3 rounds left. So I reckon he could get another podium in those 3 races. It's possible, especially as if Brazil reigns, or you never know, Abu Dhabi might reign. Funny. But anything's possible for Verstappen. He's going to be a world champion. This is just one of those things that happens that it's just slightly unlucky. Like, it's just an issue that, you know, it's not the end of the world, but when it happens, it hurts. So I can understand fully why he's not happy bunny, but of course he'll come back from it. He always does, and he always will. But that's been it for this video, guys. The next one, I have no idea. I think the next one might be a special gameplay that I was talking about before that I wanted to do, that I'm finally able to do. So that'll be fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, guys, bye bye.